to the Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Podcast. I'm Dr. Millicent Ravello, and I am here today with my esteemed and lovely and very amazing co-host, Dr. Jay Calvert. How are you?
Thank you. I'm feeling
Do you feel esteemed?
And esteemed. And
I esteem you.
I think.
Can I use that as a verb? I esteem you.
One thing I do is I esteem you. Well, thank you. I feel very esteemed.
Well, you should, because we are talking about your being voted as one of the top plastic surgeons in the United States, as voted amongst our peers in a very, very prominent news magazine.
Yeah, I was very pleased with it last year, and I'm even more pleased this year because I think that, this poll means something when it's like asking other plastic surgeons.
Right.
I always say, you want to find a good plastic surgeon, ask a plastic surgeon.
Ask a plastic surgeon. So this is not voted on by patients. It's not voted on by non-practitioners, which really eliminates sort of the marketing aspect of plastic surgery,
Right.
which is huge because you can market yourself and maybe not be the best, but everybody knows your names. They assume that you're good. No, this was actually voted on by plastic surgeons who go to meetings, who evaluate other people's works on the podium and at these meetings and at conferences. So it does have weight.
Yeah, I think it does. And, it's not pay for play. You don't know, I didn't even know this thing was happening again, quite honestly, until I saw like Steve Cohen had like a big thing up on his Instagram, like, hey, I'm on this list. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that list is out, and then I went and looked and, sure enough, I was on there for rhinoplasty, facelift, and then eyelid surgery is a new one they added this year because they did 4 last year. Now they've got a new category. And
Did they not tell you that you made the list?
No, I found out by looking after. They don't tell you anything because it's just like, I don't even know where you vote, quite honestly. I mean, I think I should vote.
Like, I've never gotten asked to vote.
But I asked them and they said, oh, we can send you a link and you should give it to, it's basically for plastic surgeons. You have to be I don't know. I'll look at the link and see what it is. But, it's not pay for play, which is great. If you want to use the logos, you do have to license the logos. That's how they pay for the study.
Sure.
If you want to put it up on your website and all that. So I of course, getting it, I was like, yeah, I'll license the logos. I want to advertise that.
Yeah. That's how they get you.
Well, yeah, but at the same time,
but it's worth it.
You can't get on the list unless you're on the list.
No, of course.
And then if you want to actually tell people, you can do a news report because it's public knowledge that you're on the list. But if you want to actually show the logo, then you have to license it. And I think that's fair. And I think somebody's got to pay for that thing anyway. And that's how they do it is they kind of say, well, if you want to advertise it, pay for the logos. With that said, that's not what we're talking about today. So I appreciate you bringing it up. We are talking about... When do you get your facelift?
When to get your facelift? Because this was a minor point of contention that we had earlier this afternoon about when we should get a facelift. And when I say minor, it's because in general, Dr. Calvert and I are very much on the same page about earlier facelifts are probably better, only because the earlier you can do it, the better your results, the longer they're going to last. And so neither of us are for pushing out your facelift to your 60s because we'll go through why that's not a great idea. And then we can come back and talk about exactly what age we were arguing about today. So when to get your facelift? I would say in general, it may vary from different parts of the country or different parts of the world. Certainly here in Los Angeles, it probably skews a little bit more towards the younger side, where people are starting to think or talk or get their first facelifts in their early, mid-40s, anywhere up to 60s, 70s. But in general, I think that a mid-40s facelift is a great idea because that's really when you're going to start needing it. Everything else that's non-invasive or not a facelift or that's fillers, it's not going to do the trick. It's not going to do what you want it to do.
Yeah, and in general, I agree with that. However, when I see a patient, as we did today, come in and say, I'm looking a little boxy, I'm looking a little loose, my jawline isn't snatched the way that I want it, and they're approaching their